and welcome to the Visionary VA podcast, the go-to show for ambitious virtual assistants who are ready to stop trading their time for money and start scaling their businesses into thriving agencies. I'm Holly Copsey, founder of the award-winning agency Virtually Priceless and the Visionary VA Circle community. Each week, I'm here to bring you actionable strategies, proven systems, and mindset shifts to help you transition from a solo VA to a visionary agency owner. If you're ready to grow your business to dizzying new heights with less stress and more success, you're in the right place. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Visionary VA podcast. I'm so excited to dive into today's topic because it's something I'm really passionate about helping people to overcome. And it's one of the biggest concerns I hear expressed by VAs about the struggle to move clients over to working with other team members. And it's something that is often met with a lot of resistance from people who have built up incredible businesses and have awesome relationships with clients. And I totally get it. So what is that concern? It's VAs saying, but clients only want to work with me. I've heard this so many times, and I can tell you right now, it simply isn't true. I've said it myself when I needed to step back from a really high-profile client of ours and thought I'd struggle to replace myself. It's actually a matter of overcoming your own mindset and really being clear on the type of business that you want to have. Because if you do want to go down that path and you want to move your work over to team members, it's entirely possible. And it's not just something that I'm doing, it's something that tons of other agency owners or VA businesses with teams of all sizes are managing to do on a daily basis. It's a journey. It's something that only you can master, and you really have to believe that it's possible for you. And changing that mindset isn't something that will happen overnight. It'll take time to become comfortable with, but it is something that you have to work on. And you have to build into your business and your way of thinking. I'm going to share a favourite analogy I've come up with, which I think helps to explain this and demonstrates how it can work. So imagine you're considering a new school for your child. Hopefully you'll have the chance to visit the school and walk around the building. You'll meet the head teacher. You'll inevitably hear an incredible sales pitch from him or her about why their school is the best and why you should send your child there. You might read up on the exam results. You might decide to have a look at their Ofsted report and see what rating they received. You may seek feedback from other parents or friends whose children attend the school. You'll gather all this information together to get a feel of the school. And after looking at all of those things, having those conversations and visiting the school, you'll make a decision about which school is best for your child and proceed to apply. The thing that you never actually do is meet the specific class teacher who is going to teach your child for several hours a day. What you are doing is placing your trust in the head teacher to run that school in such a way that they are going to give your child that great education. You're delegating the choice of teachers and the standard of curriculum to be delivered to the head teacher. You're trusting them to put in place the right management team and to recruit the right staff who are ultimately going to teach your child. Then hopefully they will have this amazing experience that you've bought into when you selected the school. Now, stop for a moment and apply this to running your VA business. It's exactly the same. At some point, that head teacher has been a class teacher. They have proven themselves. They have climbed the ranks and risen to the top and gained that role as head teacher. And that's what you can do with your business. You need to become the head teacher. You need to become someone who is great at understanding the ins and outs of what clients need, what the challenges are they face in their own business, how the service is delivered to them, and what a great experience your team provides. You, as the leader of your business, must draw upon your skills and find the right people, not only with the right skills and experience, but the right people personality-wise to work with your clients. Because that's where we add a huge amount of value in that matchmaking role. I think it's a really useful way to think about your business because I know a lot of people struggle with this. As I mentioned earlier, I absolutely had those reservations myself, particularly having built a business up from a place of amazing testimonials and client referrals and working with colleagues from former corporate roles. And it doesn't mean you can't take that next step. It doesn't mean that it's not possible for you to make that transition. I think it's something that's really important for you to get your head around. And you have to spend some time doing that before you're potentially ready to have those conversations with clients. But you need to start letting that sink in and thinking about it in the longer term. Because until you start talking about your business in that way, thinking about it in that way, and running it in that way, it's just not going to happen. And if you really are serious about building your team and outsourcing some or all of the work that you do, you are going to have to get your head around it and get comfortable with being the head teacher and recruiting the right team members and ensuring you're delivering the right service. And you'll also have to accept that at times you will get that wrong. You absolutely will. Nobody has 100% success rate of recruiting perfect team members and delivering a perfect service to their clients at all times. It just won't happen, trust me. So the sooner you get comfortable with that and accept that that is the reality at some point, it's not going to work. Now, no one wants to do that, of course. We all want to be perfect all the time, and that's absolutely what we strive to do. But sometimes those things are out of your hands, and, sometimes we make the wrong judgment call when placing team members. Perhaps we haven't spotted a red flag during onboarding, or something happens to a team member with their personal life that means that they can't fulfill the role. So I think the first thing I'd advise you to do if you are struggling with this is just to think about the language that you use and the way that you talk about your business. It's little things like just starting to move from talking about I to we. We can do that for you. Even if you don't necessarily have the right person in your team yet, you can absolutely go and find them. So start thinking about the language you're using and the way that you position your business to others. Even if it is just you right now, but you've got a desire to build that wider team in the future. The other thing you need to start doing is going out and meeting people that you do potentially want to have in your team, because learning to hire the right people and then the way that you manage them and build a relationship with them and have them delivering a service to your clients is incredibly important. Team management wasn't something I'd ever done before. I line managed an assistant PA when I worked in banking, but in all honesty, I wasn't great at it because I was rubbish at delegating. When it was time to branch out and bring on associates as a VA, I totally had that fear of, what if they can't do as good a job as me? And it took me a long time to get over that. But the way I did it was to find people who not only were as good as me, many of them were actually better and had no problem delivering the service that I wanted for our clients. Now, I'm going to generalize a bit here, but I do think as VAs, sometimes we're not very good at delegating. And as I mentioned, for me, that was something I really struggled with in the early days of growing my business. I found it hard. I definitely had trust issues, not because of the people on my team, because they were all amazing, but just because of my background as an EA and being so used to doing everything myself. So once I got to grips with the fact I needed a team, how did I handle the communications with clients? As a solo VA, all the testimonials and referrals I had in the beginning were all based on work that I had done, and it felt almost a little bit fraudulent. I didn't want clients to feel cheated that they were signing up for me and getting someone else. But what I came to realise is how fantastic the trust was I'd built with my clients. And because they trusted me, when the time was right to step back and I had to tell them someone else would be picking up their support, they trusted me to do right by them and make sure they were in great hands. When you start talking to clients and you're going down the route of using associates, you need to use clear language that positions the fact you have a team. For example, use phrases like, yes, that's absolutely something we can do for you. And if clients ask who's going to deliver the service, make sure you're well prepared and have thought about how you're going to position those team members. I have no qualms now about talking to potential clients and being very clear about the fact that I'm talking to them as the business owner, because I'm the one that can really dig into what their problems are, the type of person they need, the personality match they might be looking for. And I'm really good at quizzing them and teasing out that information. That's a skill that I've honed over the last 6 years of running my business. And I'm sure that it's something you also do on a regular basis with your own prospective clients. But then be ready to talk to them about the benefits of working with your incredible team. Practice saying things like, that's absolutely something we can help with. I've got some fantastic team members with just the right level of experience. Or, yes, we have someone who could be an amazing match for you. Because although your team members will likely have the skills and experience, they'll all likely have that, they're not all necessarily the right fit personality-wise. And that for me is something I really try to pride myself on striving to get right, because the skills and experience aren't enough. I know lots of fabulous VAs with incredible backgrounds, and even on my own team, I look across the team and they're all amazing. But there are some that just wouldn't be a good fit for some of our other clients. They just wouldn't. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all just very different types of people. Some clients want someone they can build a really personal relationship with, have a chat with, and their weekly catch-up includes how the kids are or what they're up to this weekend. Other clients are incredibly task-driven and just want to throw work at someone without all the fluff. Some people don't want to chat at all. Some clients need someone who's going to be a much stronger character with them. We are clear with our clients that we manage upwards, but I'd say there are some that certainly need more of an element of that. There are others that need a bit more hand-holding. There are some that like to have a weekly therapy session as part of their catch-up. It really is a skill to dig into those client needs and try to figure these things out before you actually put a team member in place. That for me is incredibly important. But it's up to you as a business owner, i.e. that head teacher, to think about that beforehand and plan how you're going to pitch that to your clients and what you're going to tell them. On that initial call, you don't necessarily know which team member it is that's going to be working with them, but you can talk about the skills across the team, the type of people you work with. For us, I talk about the fact that our team all have corporate backgrounds and we've got a mix of people who've worked at places like Barclays and Deloitte and Lloyds and other professional services firms. If, for example, you have several team members who have consultancy backgrounds and you're chatting to a prospective consultancy client, they will love to hear that you've got people with that kind of experience. I would urge you to take some time to think about what the benefits are of working with a team rather than a solo VA, and have your list ready to refer to when you talk to clients. When it comes to cover, you've got a team to call upon if someone is sick or taking holiday. When clients have additional projects or roles pop up, you can provide additional team members. We might have provided an EA who's come in to do diary support and inbox management, but then they might have someone leave the business and realise that actually there's a short-term gap for someone to come in and help with some marketing, or they've got a recruitment campaign happening and they need someone to step in. We've had this before where a client has suddenly had a need to recruit for 6 roles and they want someone to oversee all of the administration for that. We can then think about the fit with the person that's already there, and we can bring in that additional person to come in and give them support on a short-term basis. Clients also appreciate you being the main point of contact, even if you've placed multiple VAs into their business. And they also love the fact you'll handle any tricky conversations if a team member isn't performing well. And there will be issues along the way, as I mentioned. Hopefully not too many of them, but things do crop up, and the way that you handle those situations is what also sets you apart. Because your clients as business owners will understand that things happen and don't always go to plan. They're running businesses themselves. They know how challenging it can be. People are human. We all make mistakes. People have lives. People have personal problems. But it's all about the way that you handle and respond to a situation and how easy you make it for your client. The beauty of the way we work is that if you have a team member that starts working with the client and the client gives you feedback after a week or two that this person isn't the right fit for them, it's not working, you can simply just switch them out. There is nothing saying that you have to keep that person with them. You can do something about it. You still have the opportunity to make that relationship a successful one. And your ability to handle problems and take pain away from your clients will be make or break as to whether they want to continue working with your business. You need to focus on building strong relationships with clients, not just leave it to the associates supporting them. This gives clients an opportunity to reflect on how the relationship is going once they're working with someone. And you can then review that with them after a couple of weeks, a month, 3 months, and so on, and on a regular basis. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way, but it's all about what's the best practice, what's the perfect situation, and then if we have to deviate from that, what's the next best thing we can do? How can we make this as smooth and seamless for the client as possible? So in your initial meeting with a prospect, you can talk about the fact you've got all these experienced team members. You can talk about the seamless support. You can talk about the ability to pull in additional resources if they've got a project going on, a recruitment campaign happening, or an event taking place. For the client, there is so much value in that ability to flex and resource their business as they need to. And they've just got that one point of contact with you. They've got that great client relationship with you, and you really become a trusted partner to them. So how are you feeling about potentially building a team and maybe stepping back from some client support? It absolutely is something you can do. The thing is that you as the business owner have to start believing in that too, because if you don't, you are never going to be able to sell the idea to a client. You are never going to be able to build a business that runs on a team of superstars with you at the helm unless you are 100% committed to creating that model. So I hope I've given you a bit of food for thought today. And if you are someone that's struggling with the mindset around this and how it could work for you and your business, please do spend a bit of time applying that lesson about the school and the head teacher. Think about the type of business that you want to build, the type of team members you want to have working with you, the kind of service that you want to deliver, the standards that you expect them to uphold, the type of environment you want to create, the culture you want your business to have. Because you need to become that head teacher and you need to assume responsibility for all of those things. And if you recruit the right team members and you give them the right experience and make the expectations clear, you will have an amazing business. You'll have that incredible school where clients are queuing up to get in and people are desperate to work there. And it's a really happy, lovely, fabulous environment. You absolutely have the power to create that. So take ownership of it and make it happen. I really hope you found today's episode helpful and it perhaps has given you a new perspective on how it could work for you in your business. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Visionary VA podcast. I hope you're walking away with fresh ideas and inspiration to scale your VA business. Don't forget to check out our free mini course on building solid business foundations, perfect for setting your VA agency up for success without the overwhelm. You'll find the link in the show notes. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a review. See you next week.